What is up, guys? So a couple weeks ago, the CW revealed that the next Arrowverse crossover will actually be set in Gotham City and will feature Batwoman, which is insane. And for this video, I wanted to go over the top 5 things I wanted to see in that crossover. The reason this is different than the last time I did this was like almost a year ago, and it was before we knew anything about the Crisis on Earth X crossover. It was later revealed that it was Crisis on Earth X, like I just said. So the reason this is different is that this list will be specific to the fact that it's in Gotham City and it features Batwoman, as well as one other thing that's not really specific to Gotham City and Batwoman, but is specific to this crossover and doesn't really apply to the last one. So that's why it's different. I won't be going over things that I mentioned in that video that are not specific to this, just because I already mentioned them in that video, and that's just things I want to see in general crossovers, so I don't really need to mention them again, like the founding of the Justice League, the naming of the whole of Justice, or the fact that I want Superman and Martian Manhunter to be main characters in any crossover, in every crossover really, so I won't be going over that in this video. So with that in mind, let's go over the top 5 things that I want to see in the next Arrowverse crossover. Number 5 is a crap ton of Batman references. This crossover is set in Gotham City and stars, or is going to introduce, Batwoman. So if there aren't like a crap ton of Batman references, then that would be a little insane. I love references. If you've followed my channel for a while, you would probably know that I've posted a bunch of references videos, and specifically Batman references. I've posted a lot of Batman references videos, and if there are more of those in the next crossover, that would be awesome. I just want them to mention like an aspect of Batman's universe, maybe Batman himself a couple times. They're going to Gotham City, and Bruce Wayne is already confirmed to be in this universe. So if he's not mentioned a couple times, then that would be a little weird because he's probably the most famous person there. So I have just a hunch that there will be a crap ton of Batman references in this crossover, and that would be really awesome. Also, like referencing like Batwoman's past and her origin story, how she was inspired by Batman, that would be a really cool thing to tackle. But just in general, I just want a lot of Batman references in this Gotham City crossover event in the Arrowverse. Number 4 is a more focused Arrowverse Justice League, if you want to call it that. This is the thing that's not really specific to Gotham City, but usually Gotham is lower stakes in terms of like tone and villains, so I think a smaller team will do better, and it wouldn't be much smaller, it would be a little bit smaller. I think it should be just 3 characters from each show, and when I mean characters, because I don't want any supporting characters in the crossovers, because in my opinion, the crossovers are best when it's just a bunch of superheroes fighting a bunch of villains. I think it worked really well in Invasion, and the supporting characters didn't really have much to do, which is definitely a plus. In Crisis on Earth X, the supporting characters did bog down the crossover a little bit, like Iris and Felicity. They definitely had a lot more screen time than they should have. So I think that this crossover should be more focused on the team and have a smaller team with 3 characters from each show. From Arrow, it should be Green Arrow, Black Canary, and Mr. Terrific. And the reason I say those 3 and not maybe like Diggle or Arsenal or somebody else like that is because, first of all, Diggle's just not an interesting superhero. All he has is a gun, and Wild Dog too, so that probably wouldn't be that interesting in a crossover. And Arsenal isn't there. I would include Arsenal if Kid Flash was around, but it seems like he's leaving the Arrowverse like right away next season when the season starts, and like I wanted them to team up to just have like a mini Titans or Teen Titans, just like Arsenal and Kid Flash. But since Kid Flash isn't there, then there really wouldn't be any room for Arsenal, just because there's already an Archer on this Justice League, and Mr. Terrific and Black Canary just fit better roles as like diversifying the superhero in terms of power sets and abilities. I think having another Archer would not make as much sense as having a Black Canary and Mr. Terrific, and I would like to have 3 characters from each show. So it's Green Arrow, Black Canary, Mr. Terrific, and from the Flash, Elongated Man, and Vibe, who are really the only 3 superheroes right now. Cooler Frost lost her powers, and then there's Nora Allen, who at this point, episode 8, probably won't have a superhero identity yet, so that is it. And then from Supergirl, Superman, and Martian Manhunter, with Guardian, Mon-El, Brainiac 5, and whoever else is going to be in Supergirl Season 4 to stay back in National City on Earth 38. And then from the Legends, we don't really know who's going to be on the Legends, because they said a bunch of people are going to turn bad, a bunch of people are going to join the team, maybe not a bunch, but like 1 or 2 people. But as of right now, from the people we have, it's White Canary, the Atom, and Citizen Steel, with Zari and Heatwave. I think that's all of them staying back, and the Wave Rider doing whatever. And then as well as those 12 characters, Batwoman, I think that would be a perfect Justice League for what we have right now, just because I want a more focused team without supporting characters, and as well as the fact that this is Gotham City, so it is usually lower stakes. Number 3 is the appearance of other Batman characters other than Batwoman, like villains and supporting characters. I don't think the Bat family, for anybody from the Bat family other than Batwoman, will show up, just because Warner Brothers probably won't allow it. But I think supporting characters and villains, like supporting characters like James Gordon, Lucius Fox, characters like that who aren't in the Bat family but are just like essential to Gotham City, I think those characters should definitely show up, as well as the Gotham City PD, just by like headed by James Gordon. I think that would be pretty awesome. And then like villains, like more minor villains that aren't going to appear in the DCEU because Warner Brothers won't allow it, like the Joker and Harley Quinn and Killer Croc, they probably won't, they will be off limits. But characters like Black Mask, Penguin, maybe even like Scarecrow or Two-Face, I think they could appear in this crossover, maybe not even as cameos, maybe actually being villains in the crossover, one of the villains. I think the major villains, that's actually the next thing on the list, I think will be, I'm not going to mention that yet, but I think more minor Batman villains, like not incredibly minor, but more minor Batman villains like Black Mask, Penguin, like I said, those characters as well as supporting characters should definitely appear, and I just think that would be a great addition to the Arrowverse. And this crossover is set in Gotham City, like I keep on saying, so if none of those characters who live in Gotham City don't appear, that would be a little weird. Number 2 is the Court of Owls as the main villain. So this crossover is set in Gotham City, so you gotta know they're gonna use a Batman villain or a group of Batman villains as the main villains, because why else would they be in Gotham City? So, and I think that the best Batman villains for a crossover of this scale is the Court of Owls, just because they can be like they're like a swarm of people who the superheroes can fight. They work like that. And then there's the main ones called the Talons, who the main superheroes like Green Arrow, Supergirl, and the Flash will fight. I don't think they should have a speedster, a Kryptonian, and an Archer one, because that would be too similar to Crisis on Earth X. But like the main ones, the main Talons who are like able to fight the 3 main superheroes of the Arrowverse, they should definitely be something like that. And I think the Court of Owls would definitely make a great villain for this crossover. Do I think it will happen? I'm not sure, just because I have a feeling that they might be saving them for a movie, but they did allow them to use the Court of Owls in Gotham, the TV show, so I think it is possible, and I think it would be a great villain, because there's really no other swarm of villains, like no other Gotham Batman villains that are like that, except for like the League of Assassins, but for obvious reasons they can't use that. So I think the Court of Owls are definitely the best option from the Batman Rogues Gallery as the main villains of this crossover. And number 1, since this crossover is set in Gotham City and Bruce Wayne is confirmed to be in this universe, Batman, or at least Bruce Wayne, should appear. I don't think he should. I mean, he probably should be a major role, but he won't. That's just not going to happen. But I think he should have a cameo. Maybe like in the background you see a shadowy figure of Batman, somebody who looked like a silhouette of Batman, and there's lightning that goes off, but you don't see him. It's just like to reference the animated series and that really iconic shot. I think that would be pretty cool, but without him actually having any saying lines, just him watching in the background or something like that. Or maybe in a flashback with Batwoman saying how she got inspired by Batman, he should appear then. Or maybe just as Bruce Wayne, maybe actually Bruce Wayne should appear in one of the scenes. I don't know, or maybe in like on TV or something, because I definitely think Batman should 100% appear if he's not like dead or something. Maybe he's dead at this point. He was alive back in Arrow season 6 episode 2, but maybe like since then he's died, which is why Batwoman is the main bat of Gotham City. I don't know, but I think if he's not, if that's not how they're going to explain it, then he should definitely have a cameo role in the crossover in probably the last episode after everything's gone. Maybe like he returns to Gotham City, that's why he wasn't in it, he was away or something, and you just see Bruce Wayne but not Batman. I think there are a lot of ways they could go about it, but I definitely think since this is set in Gotham City, and Bruce Wayne exists as well as Batwoman exists, which means like if Batwoman exists, then she was inspired by Batman, so he exists as well. He should definitely have a cameo in this crossover. So that is my top 5 things I want to see in the next Arrowverse crossover list, or better yet, the top 5 Gotham City related things that I wanted to see in the next Arrowverse crossover. So let me know your list in the comments down below, and if you agree with my list, you disagree, any things on the list that you would change or you would definitely agree with, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.